Hey everybody, it's Nana Marie in Quebec City, and I say today, que sera, sera, what will be, will be. I don't want anybody sitting in fear or powerlessness. They have taken over our free will, and most people are sitting in a state of shock or apathy right now. And it's going to be a tough time coming up. So I'm going to let you watch this video, and then I clipped another one to, I'm going to clip another video to this one for YouTube. I already published it in BitChute. We have been taken over, and you can call it whatever name you want, but it's the big picture is we have been taken over, and we've been taken over for a long time, and people are waking up, but they're not waking up to joy. They're waking up to a nightmare, and it's hard to take. It puts people into PTSD and states of mind that can make them go insane and do things they shouldn't do. So I'm about soul recovery and making sure that you're okay. If you're of God and you're watching me, I'm sure you're going to be okay. But I wanted to mention something as carefully as I can about the agenda with the trans. I was looking at this video I'm about to show you, and I also have seen them on TV quite a bit. They're really out there a lot. These boys and girls who appear to be non-binary, not a boy and not a girl. And, every child is born Christ. I do not dismiss anyone if they have a personal experience and they feel like they are one side or the other and they're trapped in somebody. What I'm saying to you is there may be truth to it, but I feel it's only been the DNA that has been messed with using, since early childhood, since infancy, since birth. You are immediately given your immunizations. Immediately. And I think there's 72 or something now before you're 18. And I feel that inside of those are all sorts of things like hormones, DNA of other species, poisons. I don't know what. I just know that I believe these people. But if you happen to be somebody who's confused, consider that it is, because I heard one lady in this, I'll show you, say that she really feels she is this man. And because of the way she looks, if you are, your spirit, what you are, a female or a male, a masculine or feminine. That's what you need to know. It's inside. If your body's changed or you're different, it makes no difference to your soul. You are what you are, and you feel it, okay?
Going on in Australia? What the hell's going on? I'll tell you. It's communism. COVID is just communism. A system of total government control that you would never vote for under normal circumstances. So they're going to make you suffer until you ask for it. They're going to make you suffer until it seems like you have no choice but to accept it. COVID is communism, and one of the first two aspects of communism, the first two things that communists do when they take a country. Well, first they take all your stuff. Right? They make you suffer until you can't work and you can't pay your bills. And then they say, look, they come across as the saviour, right? They say, look, we've got the solution for you, for the problem that they've caused. They say, sign everything over to us, your house, your assets, your property, excess capital, everything you've worked for your entire life. They say, sign it over to us and we'll wipe all your debts. You'll be in the clear, but you have to live in a cube in the city. You have to work the factory job we tell you to work. You have to eat the food we tell you to eat. And you have to get injected with our poison a few times a year. So they outstretch their hand as the saviour. And many people will take it. And woe to those who do. Second thing they do is they kill off a significant percentage of the population. And they try to include in that kill bracket people who could potentially threaten their government in the future, the best of the country that they take, the most energetic, the most bold, the most courageous, people less likely to conform, right? So they're going to take all your stuff. They're going to try to control every aspect of your life, where you go, what you do. They're going to tell you where to work. They're going to control everything, and they're going to make you suffer so much that you're going to feel that you have no choice but to accept that lifestyle. And they're also going to kill off a significant percentage of us. They're going to try, right, with these vaccination programs. So this was always coming. Anyone who's been paying attention, this should come as no surprise. You can't let Marxists pose as professors and politicians for 2 whole generations in your country and expect to remain free and independent. Right? Our so-called conservatives have never challenged the foundational principles that these Marxists have been pushing, the philosophical, subversive, ideological principles these Marxists have been pushing on our country, whether it's feminism, transgenderism, atheism, forced immigration and unconditional equality systems, all the things that have divided us, that have caused us to fight amongst ourselves, that have destroyed our religion and our moral traditions, that have confused us as to who we even are as a people, the things that have divided and debilitated us, these have all contributed to preparing us for this final push, for the final imposition of this communist government now. Right? So this is what it is. COVID is communism rebranded as a deadly virus. So be prepared.
What are your thoughts on us taking the gender off for babies' birth certificates?
I feel like it does make a lot of sense to do that, and that gender doesn't really do much. Like, it doesn't really matter.
If my child wants to grow up being a female, and with me, believe it or not, I take off my hat, I look like a male. I don't think of myself as a female. I
Pardon my
think of myself
cat.
as a pansexual. I am a male trapped in a female's body. And honestly, if my child doesn't have to have the gender on his birth certificate, that'd be fucking awesome.
Honestly, I'd go for it. Because the fact that if they want to grow up as a male, then that's fine. If they want to grow up as a female, that's even better.
If he wants to become a girl later on, I'm so for it. I'll tell him, what hospital do you want to go to right now?
What are your thoughts as a trans person on us removing gender from birth certificates?
At least for like IDs, I don't think it should be required to have sex on there because that excludes non-binary people. That puts trans people in very uncomfortable positions, especially if they can't pass very well. I think it would be pretty helpful though, because I think that as a whole, society just needs to stop prioritizing the sex of their child as and then we'll have a baby boy forever. Maybe she's trans, or maybe your little girl is gonna grow up and you're gonna have to have a son later.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea. I think it's a baby's a baby at the end of the day, and so I mean obviously the terms assigned female at birth and assigned male at birth can be harmful to just in general.
I think gender is a spectrum, definitely, and honestly, I think if we teach kids more about pronouns and what they want to go as, rather than, your girl, act like it, your boy, act like it, which I think that current birth certificates kind of enforce. Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea.
You don't even really understand giving your name, but until you're 3 or 4, and so to give something to this kid that they don't even understand and understand the concept of is kind of strange.
I know, of course, when they're born, they are assigned a gender, which I understand medically, but in the end, if they want to change, then they can. And that'll also change them medically as well. They don't have to assign themselves as, female or male. It should be whatever they want.
Yeah, I agree. They said it perfectly.
Professional indulgence for their outstanding service in the LGBTQ+ community. Our next guest is the only openly gay Major League Baseball player, current or former, alive.
What's your pronouns?
I'm a male. I'm a man. I'm a he. I don't get into that mentally ill stuff.
Okay.
So, that's it, folks. Watch this next clip, and it explains a little bit more. After the Beings of Light and Trevor came in 2016, I was downloaded with the entire history of the world and what's going on now. And I went into PTSD, and much of the information the next day was gone. The only thing I remembered were the words, "Be prepared." And I remembered the love my son gave me at the end of that event. But I found somebody who has the details. I've been explaining the details. They've been coming to me for the last 7 years, slowly. And in consciousness, that's how it works. It's like infinite consciousness. Like you find out more and more and more and more. And I recognize the truth when I hear it. And I recognize lies when I hear it. So I found this Jordan Maxwell video on BitChute. And I really encourage my subscribers, if you want to get the details of what's going on, it is in this video. He's very articulate, and he even knows Jesus. He knows the real intention. He knows the real story. He did this interview in May of 2014, and it was released in June this year. I've never heard it before. I don't think anybody's ever heard it before. It's remarkable, and it's the truth. And so after you watch it, and I can't say that here on YouTube because I lost my whole channel once for saying it. After you watch it, then go back into yourself, because you are of God. If you're on my channel watching me, you are of God, right? Or you're a troll and you're keeping your tabs on me. I don't care. But you're here for a reason, and there are no mistakes and there are no coincidences, and you have a gift, and you have a mission. We all do. Anyone of God has a mission. The first mission is to not make God an ET out there, right? God is in you, and you have every bit of power. Hollywood has been a soul harvest. It's been casting spells, and this guy talks all about that too. He talks about everything I've been talking about, and yet he gives more details than I've been able to. Well, look at that, the numbers, right when I'm telling you. It's got a lot of views, 2,555 with 44 likes and 4 dislikes. I love my numbers. It tells me when I'm okay with sharing this with you. So please go and watch this. Take the time, and so you can get an understanding of where you can start. And the first place is to stop trusting the media. That's absolute. You have to. If you are not able to discern fantasy from reality, you have to stop watching the media, because everything there is theater. They have paid people to distract us with different crazy things going on in the world. But the only thing going on in the world is what's going on in your world. Everything else is a psyop. Everything else is designed to capture you and your soul here, to keep you stuck into and led into temptation all day long, led into perversion, led into greed, led into everything they want you to be led into. And the problem is people participate because they've been mind controlled for 2,600 years, walking into the Garden of Eden. You don't know what that did to your mothers. You don't know who she is underneath the demon label she's been given. And that's exactly what happened, is we've been demonizing Mother in the Garden of Eden, which is a snake pit. I've told you that. This guy goes into that too. So if you are interested in the truth, which I'm afraid most people are not, the people that are staying with me, bless your hearts. Bless your heart you're able to tolerate me, tolerate my words. I mean, I've had people comments saying, I can't stand your voice. I can't. Like they really go angry with me. And so anybody who stays and is able to hear the truth or resonate with the truth in their own hearts, heart to heart resonance, then you're going to be okay, honey. You're going to be okay. But I don't want you shocked into paralysis. I don't want you stunned. You know, you got to prepare your heart and your mind. And allow this, that it happened. Allow it. It happened. You're not going to control it. You're not going to change anything. You know, and you've got to have peace with that. What you need to do is remember who you are. Remember we don't die. This is an earth realm. It's very dark. It's leading us into hell. And without the consciousness of Christ, which is you at birth, and it's innocence, it's innocent, but it's all knowing. Children are all knowing. I can't tell you how many times I got slapped down for telling the truth when I was a child. Like they hate it. They hate kids that tell the truth. They want to hide the truth, and especially parents. You know, they should listen to their children and really allow the truth and the light in. Let's listen for a minute.
I'm just saying, well, you better wake up and find out and smell the roses. Where this world is now, you have no idea the world, how far gone it really is.
Now, Jordan, do you think these families at the top, you know, these bloodlines that go back, some to Babylon, what's your take on the theory that some of them aren't fully human, that they might be hybrids?
Oh, I'm totally sure of that. Totally. That's my opinion again. This whole thing and this whole program is my opinion. So if I die because of it, remember, you die because of it, giving your opinion. But in my opinion on that subject is there's no doubt whatsoever in my mind, period, that what we're talking about, the people who run this planet, in fact, are not human. And I have a lot of reasons. I can't prove that to you in a court of law. It's my opinion. But I can tell you why I think that and give you the reasons why I think that. But I can't prove it. But it's my opinion. I am sure that the people who run this planet, you will never know. You will never hear who they are, and you will never see them. And let me tell you something. You don't want to see them. You don't want to know who they really are. So when I hear David Icke talking about reptilians and the royal family, I'm the one that brought David Icke to America back in 1992. I'm the one that brought him here. Nobody in America had ever heard of it. I'm the one that brought David Icke to America. And I remember talking about reptilians to him over dinner. And I was talking about reptilians a long time ago. I've never personally, in fact, in my life, saw a reptilian alien. But there's no doubt in my mind that they exist. Why? Because I have talked to too many people around the world in different countries that I've traveled in to speak. I have talked to way too many people, and each time they are well-grounded, highly intelligent, mature, otherwise trustworthy people, airline pilots, military people, very spiritually minded people, ordinary people in ordinary jobs talk to me in private and tell me about their personal one-on-one experience with aliens and reptile aliens. Well, being the kind of person I am, if I hear that over and over and over again from people who don't know me or anybody else I know, are telling me personal experiences that is exactly what I heard 10 times before, 15, 20 times before. I've heard the same, almost identical description, the same identical scenario. I've got to begin to feel there's something going on here. Because I've heard this too many times in too many places by too many people who don't know each other. So logic alone would tell me there might be something to it. So that's why I was talking about the reptilians before David Icke knew anything about it. But that doesn't mean I actually saw one. But it wouldn't surprise me, because I'm sure these people I've talked to over the years are not stupid. They're very intelligent people. They're very well grounded. They're not given to stupidity. And the ancient peoples and the ancient ones from Sumeria, Babylonia, Phoenicia, Canaan, the Hittites, all the ancient Egyptians, all these ancient cultures talk about reptilian gods, the reptile gods. And in Genesis 1, what Christians and Jews looking at the Bible, it was a serpent in the garden. Look up the word serpent, you will find it's a reptile. And
All right, so you can find that under Chembuster on BitChute. Chembuster uploads like 40 videos at a time, so I know it's a bot, and it's bringing the truth. And you know what? Part of this whole manipulation and terrorism is about, bringing their truth to us in terrorizing ways and offering no hope and no way out. And I'm just saying, you are not a part of this. You're not part of their movie, but you can make yourself part of their movie. And I'm suggesting you don't anymore. Walk away from anybody leading you into temptation.